This is the most broken thing I have ever done with the Warframe EQUINOX, and I have never seen anybody do something even more broken. So I used the helmet on my EQUINOX to make the second ability of EQUINOX silence. Now, this is what you need to know. The ability silence will stun every single enemy that walks into the radius of your silence for 2 seconds. Afterwards, every single enemy that is still within the radius of your silence will not be able to use their special abilities. Now, to give you a short rundown of a special ability, the infested ospreys that fly around and pick up crawlers can no longer drop those crawlers, meaning that the ospreys just sit there. The infested ancients cannot hook you. I don't even think they can charge at you. The reason why I'm not sure is because I've never given them that long to live. The Grineer that throw grenades can't even do that. The Grineer that launch multiple grenades at one time cannot do that. The Grineer women that hook you, like the infested ancients hook you, cannot do that. The Grineer that fly with jetpacks are not able to do that, to the best of my knowledge, because I have not given them that long to live. Now, it gets even crazier. The Corpus cannot use their special abilities either. When you go to the Index, they're just going to run around and shoot you, and that is if they have a ranged weapon to shoot at you. They cannot use their infested aura. My bad. The Corpus can't use their aura to turn off your abilities. They can't use their aura to drain your energy. The nullifiers are unaffected by silence as long as that nullifier bubble is up. And all enemies within the nullifier bubble are going to be unaffected as well. Now here's where it gets even crazier. All Eximus units in this game will unable to be able to use their Eximus abilities. The Sanguine Eximus cannot drain your health. The Parasitic Eximus cannot drain your energy. The Explosion Eximus can't cause explosions. The other Eximus that do something cannot do anything. The Cold Eximus cannot create a bubble if you already destroyed their bubble. Or they cannot create a bubble if they have not already created a bubble. To the best of my knowledge, because I've never given them that long to live, because I have a personal vendetta against the Cold Eximus for slowing me down. I'm not done yet. Now, the duration of the stun is 2 seconds, and you cannot change that duration with ability duration. But it gets even sicker. It gets even more vile. It gets even more disgusting. EQUINOX has a third ability called Pacify and Provoke. Now, by itself, the night form of Pacify and Provoke will reduce the enemy damage. As you can see, I'm multiplying enemy damage by 0.2. That means the enemy is going to be dealing 20% of the damage they would normally be doing. But it gets even more disgusting. If you have a mod that reduces damage, like adaptation or antitoxin or flame repellent, it will reduce the damage for yourself. In addition to the fact that you simply reduce the enemy damage. Because Pacify and Provoke works by reducing the damage that the enemy would have done in the first place. And then your damage resistances are going to reduce the damage that you take, which is only going to be calculated after the enemy deals the damage to you, which is going to be reduced in the first place. I'm not done yet. The day form is going to give yourself and your allies increased ability strength whenever they cast their abilities. Now, You're just going to take the number 38 in this scenario and add it to their ability strength just specifically when they cast their ability. But you don't care about the day form right now. When I put on the augment, Peaceful Provocation, which will augment the ability Pacify and Provoke, you will now have your night form slow the enemy on top of reducing their damage. And then the day form will give your allies even more strength. The day form is not important. It's the night form that I'm focusing on, because the night form is what makes the ability Silence from Banshee so disgusting. How much time do I have? Okay, 5 minutes. Let me hurry up. So even though you cannot... Well, first let me say this. The ability Pacify and Provoke is unaffected by duration. Again, the ability Pacify and Provoke is completely unaffected by duration. The efficiency is what reduces the energy cost per enemy of night form. The efficiency reduces energy cost per ability activated by your allies in the day form. And it gets even crazier because Pacify and Provoke is not considered a drain ability. All you do is pay the cost one time. And yes, the night form has a drain per enemy, but the drain isn't considered as a continuous ability. The drain is just a side effect that happens. In other words, if you were to have Energy Siphon, or if you were to use the Xeneric path of your operator, you can gain energy like that. Dead serious. I'm not being funny with you. It will literally offset the energy that you're being drained by having enemies nearby with Pacify and Provoke active in your night form. But remember, how much time I got? Cool. The enemies are slowed. And when you slow an enemy, all actions that they take are slowed. So when you stun an enemy for 2 seconds, you're going to be increasing the duration of their stun by the amount of slow. So what we're going to do, 100 minus 77 is 23, but I want to make sure you see this. My bad, 100 minus 77 is 23. So that's 23, okay? We're going to divide 100 by 23. And what we're going to do is multiply that by 2. That's an 8.5 second stun. I have to wait 3 seconds before I can cast Silence again. In other words, I can cast Silence literally in the middle of their stun. They're slowing down. Again, I would be getting shredded by now. I would be getting shredded by now if it wasn't for the damage reduction. I also have armor. Once you get past 50%, the slow really takes effect. Watch this. They're still stunned. This is over 8 seconds. They will never be able to move. They will also never be able to use their special abilities while they're stunned, or if I increase the duration while they were in my aura. I pushed the 1 button in swap forms. That's the only reason why I died. But as you see, it's disgusting. As a matter of fact, how much time I got? Cool. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not doing solo, I'm doing invite only, so I still get all the multiplayer changes to health and stuff. Again, it's not solo. It's invite only, so it's still multiplayer when it comes to their health and all that other stuff. This is still path. There is no nullifier. That's like my only saving grace right now. And don't push one to swap forms like I did, please, because you're not going to be saving all this slow and... My bad. Work that you're just doing right now. I do not have my pet nearby to give me extra energy, so I gotta find it. Oh my gosh. Well, if I had my pet instead of being stupid, I would have had the extra energy to show you what it would be like. I still got like 3 minutes left, so let me pause and get back to that same situation. Hold on real quick. So I got my pet and we're going back to the same situation. Again, it's invite only. As you can see, whenever I pause, you know, the game still runs. I gotta go this way. I'm on a strict time limit, 15-minute YouTube videos. You're not living. I don't care. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work my way back up, and then I'm gonna unpause the video. So we're back. I built it back up. Okay, I built everything back up. 2. Let the slow get even stronger. Two. You see how much longer they're slowed because I'm closer to 100%? It's an exponential increase. The increase in their stun duration is exponential the higher you're slow. I can stun them again. I can stun them again. I can stun them again. They will never attack me. I gotta get behind him. It's disgusting. So I gotta go. There's a 15-minute video time limit, but yeah, this is disgusting. It works in like actual play.